Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story this hour, newly released plans for developing 53 acres of bayfront property are missing a Sarasota landmark, the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. Van Wezel Foundation announcing plans to move out of the current building and into a new performing arts center, which is all part of the Bay Sarasota project. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the Van Wezel tonight. And Jess, what could happen to that current Van Wezel facility?
Scott, it's up to the community to decide. It could be repurposed into part of the Bay project, or it could be demolished.
Three very different concepts are on the table for the future of the Bay. But in a way, they're all similar. They include some kind of transportation over US 41, an open Central Park type space for the community to enjoy, and a new performing arts center, a recommendation from the Van Wezel Foundation.
There's also the question about what to do with the existing purple building. We're asking the community to give us some feedback on that.
Part of this design phase for the Sarasota Bayfront Planning Organization includes asking the community whether or not to tear down the current Van Wezel building or repurpose it as part of the Bay project.
One of the challenges that our experts are telling us is that that's down at the lowest elevation on the site. And so that makes it very challenging from a sea level rise and a storm surge perspective.
The design phase goes well beyond decisions around the Van Wezel. Organizers of the Bay want the community to take a good look at the three designs on the table and tell them what they like and don't like about each design. The community isn't being asked to pick one design over another.
There's still a lot of room for the community to tell us what this should be, and that's what the next week and the forums that will follow that are all about.
The Sarasota Bayfront Planning Organization wants to be clear. This is a community conversation that they're facilitating. The organization itself isn't deciding anything.
Now is the time for everybody who's got an opinion and an interest and a concern and a fear and a hope and a dream to come out and help us shape what is actually going to go to the City Commission this fall.
There are 3 community forums coming up next week. We have all those dates, times, and locations on our website, mysuncoast.com. Now, once the organization gets all of this community feedback, they will put one master plan, one more design in place, and the community will then get to put even more input in on that. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Jess, thanks so much. Sarasota County will look at charging a fee to park at the very popular Siesta Beach. County commissioners will be discussing that parking fee on Wednesday. They'll be looking at how much to charge and if Sarasota County residents would be exempt. Locals and visitors on the beach today had some mixed reactions. Some were willing to pay, and others said they'd likely go somewhere else if they had to. Former Siesta Key Village President Mark Smith says charging a fee will be very beneficial, but only if Sarasota County property owners are exempt.
We want to keep the money on Siesta Key and try to relieve as much traffic as we can, and the trolley's the way to do it, and this is the way to finance the trolley.
County says it will also need time to determine what types of meters to use and how it would all be managed. 3 recent surveys show an overwhelming majority of residents are in favor of charging tourists to park at Siesta Beach. Construction will resume on $7.4 million Manatee County Force Main pipe replacement project on Gulf Drive on Anna Maria Island. Next up is 10th Street North at Gulf Drive. It will be closed to drivers and will remain closed until the end of the month. There's a detour set up on 11th Street North that will send drivers to Bay Drive North and then back out to Gulf Drive. New at 6, Sarasota County Schools responding following the publication of text message exchange between school board member Eric Robinson and Sheriff Tom Knight. That exchange criticizing Superintendent Todd Bowden and other school board members. Robinson and Knight were discussing funding of school resource officers in Sarasota County schools and plans to undermine the superintendent. Now it's all public. About an hour ago, the superintendent releasing this statement saying, quote, "Recently, there has been a lot of negativity in the news regarding issues between me, school board members, and other government entities in our community. It is time to remind ourselves of our goal, which is to keep our students safe while at school and provide the best learning experiences possible for success both academically and personally." All right, let's get a check on our weather today on this muggy Monday on the Suncoast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with our first alert forecast. Bob.
Good afternoon, and we had a cold front that brought us some rainfall over the weekend. It went to our south and moved back northward as a warm front this morning, bringing with it warm and, you guessed it, muggy conditions. Van Wezel webcam showing fairly quiet conditions out there on the waters. You'll see some of those clouds coming in from the Gulf of Mexico occasionally, but lots of sunshine today, and that allowed temperatures to soar into the upper 80s to low 90s east of the sea breeze. Now, there is a frontal boundary located to the north. That's that cold front that moved back northward as a warm front. Now it's stationary. And along that, we're going to see a little piece of energy slide along. This area of low pressure will develop in the Gulf of Mexico and move mainly to the north. That's where the heavy rainfall is going to be, but it's going to have a trailing cold front with it, which will bring us a chance for some showers on Tuesday night, and into Wednesday morning. Right now, not a lot of rain out there, just kind of warm and muggy. Well, much more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Scott.
Thank you, Bob. Shocking hit-and-run crash caught on camera. Sarasota County Sheriff detectives trying to identify the driver who intentionally crashed a motorcyclist this weekend on Beneva Road in Sarasota. Watch as the car suddenly swerves to the right into the motorcyclist's lane, smashing him and the motorcycle to the ground. Investigators say the car has a large white decal on the back window, and anyone with information should contact the Criminal Investigations section. That number is on our website, mysuncoast.com. We have talked with the motorcyclist who was released from the hospital last night, and a family member adds, while he is pretty banged up, he's very happy and lucky to be alive. Law enforcement agencies across the Suncoast want to make sure victims of crime know there are services there to help them. It's all part of National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Tonight, police officers and sheriff's deputies will be available to meet with victims and give them professional advice.
It's for victims of all crimes, no matter what the crime is. So it could be domestic violence, sexual battery, homicide, someone stole my bicycle, you know, those kinds of things. It doesn't matter what crime that the victim was part of. It's important to bring them together and to show them that they're not alone, that there is hope, there is support, there is lots of resources in the community to help them through.
That event will start at 6:30 tonight at the Child Protection Center on South Orange Avenue in Sarasota. And then tomorrow, the city of Bradenton will hold a candlelight vigil with a dove release in honor of Crime Victims' Rights Week. Still to come on your Suncoast News tonight, the IRS wants you to be aware of a scam that's been going around the country. We'll have some tips so you can avoid getting ripped off. And no surprise from Governor Rick Scott, he's running for the Senate, and it's a race that may be one of the most important in the nation.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Two of Florida's top elected officials are going head-to-head in 2018 election for a spot in the U.S. Senate. Governor Rick Scott announcing this morning he'll be running against current Senator Bill Nelson. Key issues that could shape the contest include the mass shootings at the Pulse nightclub and at Stoneman Douglas High School, as well as Hurricanes Irma and Maria. The race is considered one of the most important in the country because the winner could likely hold control or help that party control the U.S. Senate. Stay with us. Bob Harrigan will have your first alert forecast, which includes some chances for rain this week. That's next.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The Wild Broadway series brings you Funny Girl. Fanny Brice dreams of being famous and through sheer guts and determination becomes a star of the Ziegfeld Follies. Playing March 28th through April 15th, it's the songs and story that generations have grown to love. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Don't rain on my parade. Come see Funny Girl.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7.
I just think it's unnecessary, and I think it is another way of sort of slapping around public education, if you will.
Term limits for local school board members. Florida voters may decide in November whether the local school board should have term limits just like the governor. I'm Alan Cohn. No term limits at the trapezoid, but lots of good ideas.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Bob, we were all kind of dodging rain on Saturday night. I was down in Venice at the Evening Under the Stars at SCF, and we had a line move through.
Yeah, it moved through, and then it moved through pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so things were okay, not great, but there were some impressive photos sent in to pics@mysuncoast.com, and here's one of those. Bird Key Park, James White getting this one. You can see that, again, shelf cloud associated with the heavy rainfall and even some lightning strikes occasionally. This from Matt Smith, the Mass Photo Art, getting this one here on Lido, saying, showing some very impressive cloud formations there. And this one, again, from Bradenton, showing occasional lightning strikes. And boy, the winds really picked up. A little gust front out ahead of that storm system, creating some big winds. Well, front moves in late Tuesday. Now, before that, this area of low pressure close enough to us will bring us some clouds and some showers, possibly in the morning, more so, I think, in the afternoon and evening. Now, as clearing goes, we'll see that on Wednesday. Morning could be a little bit dicey, but we'll see some clearing by midday. So not to worry for beachgoers. Looks to be okay by late Wednesday afternoon. It should stay that way through Friday. And then a possible first alert weather day comes on Sunday, as there's a real good chance that we'll see some showers and thunderstorms Sunday, and some of those could be strong. So we'll wait and see how that plays out, but right now it looks like that's going to be the case. We have that frontal boundary stationary just to the north of us now, and that frontal boundary is the one that brought us the rainfall. Went down south as a cold front, went back north as a warm front today, and you really notice that humid conditions as a result of that south to southwest flow. On top of that, temperatures were into the upper 80s to low 90s inland. Some heavy rainfall now with Storm Tracker indicating the possibility at least of some small hail with some of these cells. That's going to stay to our north tonight. No worry with that coming in our direction, but that area of low pressure will develop and move off toward the east throughout the day. There's a little piece of energy right here out here in the Gulf of Mexico, and this, as I said, will eventually track mainly along that frontal boundary to the north of us. That's where the heavy rainfall will be. But with that low pressure area, there will be a cold front that gets close to us tomorrow afternoon and evening, and that brings us a much better chance for rainfall. This evening, not bad, just warm, muggy. Temperatures still at 11 o'clock at 75 degrees. Lows tonight will be summer-like. And then as far as the current temperatures go, into the low to mid 70s behind that stationary front, or to the north of it, out ahead of it, still 88 in Orlando, 88 in Miami, and the feels-like temperature at nearly 90 in Orlando, 86 in Sarasota. Current temperature in Sarasota, 82. The Gulf weather temperature really starting to warm up now, 79. It's still 88 in Sebring, Arcadia at 85, Northport you're at 83, Braden at 83. And 76 in Cortez. Currently at the airport, it's 80. We have partly cloudy skies. The dew point is what's so high, which makes it feel all that warmer out there. It's 75 degrees. That's the summer-like reading. South to southwest winds is fairly brisk. And Barbara Seavers sending this photo in of Lido, and you can see the low this morning was well above average. The high was at 84, 4 degrees shy of the record, by the way. And as far as the forecast goes tomorrow, we'll start off very warm, muggy, a few showers possible inland, I think, and then cloudy skies beginning throughout midday with a good chance for the rainfall later on. This particular model depicting that heavy rainfall tonight anyway. It gets close to start things off at 8 a.m. There could be a few showers around, and then again the rainfall staying mainly to the north. Rainfall accumulation could be somewhat higher to the north. We could see 2 inches in some isolated areas there. We're not looking for as much here. It'll be sporadic. It looks like shower activity, a much better chance for some more widespread rain comes on into Sunday. Snow falling now into Pennsylvania. It was down in Ohio. Still some snow showers into Michigan, as you see right there. So winter refuses to leave, and there's another storm that's expected to move into California and eventually cause more snow throughout midweek over the mid part of the country. Southwest winds will start off at 5 to 10 knots, and then it will pick up to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas running 2 to 3 feet. Here's the 7-day forecast, and a 60% chance for rain. That comes later in the day. There's a 30% chance for morning showers. Temperatures cool slightly on Wednesday after a few morning showers around, some clearing by midday. Then it's nice. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a 50-50 chance at some showers late in the day. Much better chances for showers and storms come Sunday, and it could be a first alert weather day. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. The tax filing deadline is fast approaching, and while you're busy working on your return, some scammers are busy trying to steal your money. The IRS says thousands of people have lost both money and personal information to tax scams. Scammers use the regular mail and telephone to try and rip off people, businesses, payroll, and even tax professionals by pretending to be the IRS and demanding money. One tax specialist almost became a victim themselves, and now she wants to help others stop this from happening.
I would feel bad if I didn't do it and put awareness out there and then I hear that 2 or 3 of my clients or somebody else client or one of my friends got caught out there and they took their money. I would feel very bad to know that I could do something and I didn't.
IRS says it does not call to demand immediate payment. The government will first mail you a bill if you do owe any taxes. And of course, call police immediately if you suspect you're being scammed. Here's a way to make a difference in the lives of seniors and people living with disabilities. The Medicare counseling program called SHINE, which stands for Serving Health Insurance Needs of Elders, is looking for volunteers to help with Medicare beneficiaries, their families, the caregivers in both Sarasota and Charlotte counties. If you'd like to learn more about the program and volunteering, just visit floridashine.org. We'll have more in the news coming up right after this.
Coming up, we'll take you on a journey through the history of the building that is now the Venice Theater.
Almost every home here has sustained damage. We're glad you're okay.
Oh, thank you.
You could hear the gunfire. Around the corner here are the children back on the job.
Back in the job.
How are you?
ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Fun for the whole family, the 26th annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival grounds.
I heard about the Dottoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dottoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dottoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
The Mark, Sarasota. Landmark living in the center of it all. A private oasis in the sky. Luxurious private amenities. Promenade shopping and dining. The best of downtown downstairs. Now under construction and priced from the mid-700s. This is life, right where you want it. Call or visit our Discovery Sales Gallery today. The Mark Sarasota, presented by the Culture Group.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC 7 to get breaking news, plus first alert, weather, and traffic focused on where you live. ABC 7, we're here for you.
City of Palmetto is looking into updating an ordinance that bans roosters and limiting the number of chickens at any one home at any one time. The updated ordinance would require people who own roosters and more than 6 chickens to have them relocated outside of the city limits within 90 days. The ordinance is expected to pass during next Monday's commission meeting. You would expect a 90-year-old building to be a bit run down and maybe old-fashioned, but not the Venice Theater. It's as modern as today and teeming with life and excitement. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more in A Place We Call Home.
The building that is now the Venice Theater has been a part of the city of Venice since the very beginning.
Well, this building was built by the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers in 1926 as a garage and storage area. It was called the Orange Blossom Garage. And on this corner right here behind us was concave, and it was so you could pull the car in and out of the sun and refuel your car. The gas pumps were right there.
The Kentucky Military Institute moved to Venice to make it their winter home in 1932. And in 1939, they bought this building and turned it into their gymnasium.
And so all of our basketball games were played here. We had Vesper services and things going on in the building. A lot of activity. On the western side of the building was our military science department. We had an armory. All of the cadets were assigned a military-grade rifle. In my years, in the 60s, we had M1s, and we had to come here every week and clean and polish those rifles.
Meanwhile, the Venice Little Theater was founded in 1950.
It was founded in a hangar out at the airport. The airport had been built as an Air Force base during World War II.
It was far from an ideal location.
It had no indoor plumbing. It had no seating. If a performance was being given, chairs had to be borrowed from the Farley Funeral Home.
In 1972, the Kentucky Military Institute closed.
The Venice Little Theater purchased this building in 1972 for $100,000. Today it is worth in excess of $5 million.
That first year, the theater produced 3 plays, a far cry from today.
We do 17 full productions every year, plus we have a major concert series in this big auditorium. We have a cabaret festival in the Pinkerton, the smaller theater, during the summertime. We have education classes that are teaching not just kids, but adults.
There are constantly educational opportunities here for all ages. And of course, wonderful plays and musicals. And right now, the play Grapes of Wrath is playing at the Venice Theater. So after 90 years, this building continues to serve the Venice public. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right. Good history lesson there from Linda.
That's right. Looking good tonight, just warm and muggy.
Okay, thanks, Bob. Thank you for joining us. World News Tonight is next.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.